Let's skip long introductions. This video is basically a guide how to avoid making three the most widespread mistakes which prevent people from getting a scholarship. This video is based on my own experience and experience of my friends who are also scholarship holders. We exchange our opinions, what helped us to get their scholarship and what prevented maybe some other people from getting it. The first mistake may sound super obvious, but you will be surprised how widespread it is. And this one is coming unprepared. So basically not knowing what or who your scholarship is looking for. What is their ICP? Ideal customer persona is a term from marketing, but I really like to use it in a context of scholarships because you're kind of trying to sell yourself to a scholarship fund. So yeah, maybe it's not ideal customer persona, but ideal candidate persona. And you should know how this persona is looking for your particular scholarship, because some of them are looking for people with academic background. Some of them value international experience much more. For some of them it's important that you go back to your country, and some of them really want to keep you in the country where you're going for your studies. And you should know all of this almost better than the scholarship committee members themselves. And also include to this point weak storytelling skills. So if you cannot tell compelling story about your previous experience and deliver your message, deliver your value to people who are interviewing you, you don't set up yourself for success. So a short to-do list to avoid this mistake. Research on the ideal candidate persona of your scholarship. What do they value? What are the general things that are common among the previous scholarship holders? What do they write on their webpage, tell on their webinars? What do they genuinely support and encourage people to do? And then, point number 2, build a really strong and logical story about yourself based on the points which you research for the step number 1. And point number 3 here right away, practice telling your story several times until it feels natural, ideal and logical, at least to you. Then point number 2, and based on my own experience, it's a really widespread one because I get a lot of emails and a lot of comments which ask me about this one. So the second mistake is searching for the right answers and really overstressing it. If they ask me about my plans after the scholarship, what should I tell? If they ask me how I will integrate in the new academic environment, how should I answer? My answer to all these questions is a question back. You have a plan, right? I mean, you have a plan and your strategy in your head. So why not just sharing it? Obviously, if the scholarship has a particular rule clearly stated and written that, for example, you should go back to your country after you finish your master's studies abroad, or you should stay in this country for a couple of years and work there, your plans should be somehow aligned with this, and it's normal and logical, right? Because you applied for this scholarship, meaning you know this rule, meaning you agree with this rule and willing to accept it. So yeah, if scholarships like Chevening, as far as I'm concerned, they have this rule about coming back or at least leaving the Great Britain. If they ask you what are your plans, it will be a wrong answer to tell that you will stay there. Because you cannot, because there are some rules. But if there is no clear information and you are just guessing what a scholarship is waiting for you, then just share your honest plans. If it's work abroad and then go back to your country or whatever, or stay in this country, just tell it. What matters is not your answer, but your way of thinking and how you deliver your message and how logical your way of thinking is. So if you really have a plan that, okay, I'm finishing my master's, then I want to do a PhD, or then I want to go and get some practical experience in my sphere, then it's a good answer, then it's a right for you answer. So remember that you should deliver your message clearly, tell a compelling story, and basically the closer your story to the truth, the better. And the third mistake, I think, is the one which really prevents people from getting a scholarship. Really talented, well-educated, ambitious people from getting funding in a country where they would like to study and continue their career studies and so on. And it's a simple one: stressing too much. For sure, a bit of stress is totally fine, and it would be weird not to have it. But being health scared to the point of not being able to deliver your message in a logical and clear way, of not being able to understand what other people, professors are asking you, and then deliver a clear answer back to them. Yeah, it's not what you want, right? And unfortunately, this thing of not being mentally and psychologically prepared, of being too stressed, can ruin all your efforts, all your CV efforts, all your interview preparation efforts, all your efforts of coming to this interview and even sitting there. So pay attention to this one and try to prepare yourself as much as possible and as good as possible to be calmer. So, what helps, in my opinion? Practice, practice, and practice. Because through practicing your answers, through thinking about which questions may be asked and how you will approach them, you make this situation of the interview more familiar for your brain. It's not so scared, it's not so frustrated and lost in all these unknown new facts, information, and circumstances. If you can practice with someone, like with your relatives, friends, I don't know, with another person, with your language teacher, whoever, it's even better because it will prepare you for a certain amount of stress, because practicing with someone is not equal practicing by yourself. And again, make this situation of their interview, questions coming to you, you're answering them back, more familiar for you and your brain. My advice number 2 is to have your cheat sheet prepared. What I mean by cheat sheet is a piece of paper, a document, where you write some potential questions which you assume may be asked during the interview, and you write pretty short answers to them, like 3-4 lines is enough. You can then adapt them and elaborate based on what exactly is asked. But basically, be prepared and go through this list like a couple of hours before your interview. So again, it helps you to feel that you're prepared, that you're kinda in control of the situation, and yeah, not being so stressed and lost. And point number 3 here is to calm down yourself on a physical level, because if you're physically calm, mental state will follow it. So find some relief exercises, deep breathing practices, and yeah, figure out what works individually for you. And to end up this video and share some support with all of you, I would like to share with you one thing which really helped me, I would say. And this thing is keeping in mind that you always have a second chance. It's not what we're looking for, but it's really nice to have this idea in mind that if things sadly don't work out this time, it's your experience, it's your preparation for the next attempt. And yeah, it will be much easier and highly likely much more successful the next time. So stay strong, stay focused, stay calm, and good luck. And the last note, if you have your secret tips or you have some questions or whatever you would like to share with me or other people who are watching this video, please feel free to write in the comments. I'm really trying to answer them fast and provide valuable information and feedback. So thanks for watching, and